Then something wrapped around my hand. Being drunk, I just knew that it was my intestine.
What the fuck?
Welcome to the podcast, Sniper. This is Not For Radio. Myself, Duncan Hyde. That's Jay Reeve over there. Caution, this podcast contains some swearing, and I would say this is the gnarliest emotional roller coaster of a podcast episode we've done in quite some time.
The war story that Dunc dishes out at the end is just a fucking rattler, and yet again just shows the tenacity of the South African race. Like they're
built different.
They are just a different kettle of fish. We also have a very, very, very long form chat with a good friend of ours, Kelsey Waghorn, who was part of the Whakaari White Island eruption. She was a tour guide on that. We'll go into more detail and sort of fill in the gaps for you.
Volcanic eruption.
Yeah, it was fucking gnarly, real gnarly, and we start things off with a chat to the Marines. Hurrah!
Can I just put a call out there too? As always, you can send us a story or a voice memo or whatever, link in the episode notes. But if you are in one of the armed forces and you do want to send us one, just chuck anonymous.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
We understand you can get in a lot of trouble for telling us certain yarns, but we also understand you've got some of the fucking greatest yarns.
We also understand that if you're in the States, you're about to get pretty fucking busy by the looks of things with what's going on.
Yeah, man, that's so hectic, eh?
And if you are on that sub that sunk that Iranian ship that was out over in international waters, first submarine attack since World War II.
Really?
Yeah.
Knock, knock, guess who's here? Not that ship anymore.
Yeah, fucking kaplunked.
It's gnarly watch. I got mates in Dubai, and shit's starting to tee off there. Like I think it was the US Embassy that got hit.
Yeah.
And so one of the pictures I got seen, this one was actually a mate's mate, but it was she's in a high rise in Dubai. That's where she lives, and she was like, "It's nice out." The caption was, "It's nice out, but there's also bombs out. Calculated risk. I'll get a quick tan." And she's out there in a bikini. And she can see fucking shit whistling through the sky in the background.
It's fucking, it literally feels like we're in some sim. Like it's that fucked.
Yeah. Thank fuck for a podcast like this where you can escape it. Let's stop talking about serious stuff. Nah, that's a lie. That's all. Like I said, it's an emotional roller coaster this episode. You're going to bloody love it. And we appreciate you for choosing us. Once again, the best way to support us is to become Sniper Elite, unlock the ad-free episodes, few hundred extra ones in there, first crack at prizes. Do it through supporting Cast, and we'll send you to the Rover website. That's what works out best for us. It'll be amazing. And share an episode with a mate. Go well, go long, and enjoy the poddy.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
So this one is yet another glorious war story from somebody that's actually in the military. Mm-hmm. And this, I mean, I love it more than anything else, the way that all the different militaries, like whether it be Air Force or Navy or like fucking tank crews and and crunches, whatever. Like we've got the whole lot. It's fucking awesome. So this one here is from Anonymous, I'm guessing, because it's relatively probably fresh. Mm-hmm. So I served as a US Marine fresh out of high school. Went to boot camp in Paris Island, South Carolina. Platoon 3001, Mighty Mike! At the end of every day, we would have to stand on a line in front of our bunk beds, aka racks, with nothing but a towel on so the drill instructors could inspect our hygiene. Pretty standard and very fucking awkward for a bunch of manly men such as ourselves.
Weird.
Eyes across from a recruit, Private Ryan. Hand to God, that was his actual fucking name, so why leave it out? And on this particular day, his Hal decided, fuck it, I don't want to hang around anymore, and falls to the floor. Part of being a recruit is learning, bearing, and not moving or looking away, etc. So here I am, being forced to essentially look at this dude's hog. It gets even fucking wilder because as if on cue, he starts helicoptering it and gyrating his hips like he's in fucking Rio for spring break. I should also mention that we had a brand new instructor fresh from the academy on deck for the evening. He is what's referred to as a kill hat. That the absolute fucking meanest of the mean. He walks right by us, stops, does a left face, and looks Ryan dead in his eyes and asks, "What in the actual fuck are you doing?"
Helicopter, sir! Helicopter!
Ryan, who has not stopped moving his hips to a Shakira song in his head probably, replies without missing a beat, "Sir, this recruit is gyrating, sir." I could only see the back of the drill instructor's head, but I could imagine the look of metaphorically being slapped in the face, and also the confusion of not knowing how to respond to such a moment as this. He regains himself and replies with a slight hint of uncertainty, "Very well, carry on."
Yes.
And proceeds to face right and continue walking down the squad bay. I'm literally choking on my fucking tongue from laughing as hard as I was in that moment. We graduated boot camp and he admitted that he couldn't believe that he'd just kept going. Needless to say, it is a memory that'll always make me laugh, but also haunts my dreams. Semper Fi Devil Pups. Semper Fi Devil Pups.
Is it weird that I thought the drill sergeant was just going to give him, like bull tag when you do like the flick? I thought he was just going to get out of here.
He was going to batter the fuck out of him.
Just judo chop his knob. Judo chop!
Or just fucking grab it and squeeze.
Can you say
you think this is funny?
Can you say the line again that he replied with? It was just magic. Probably the only US Marine to ever do that.
"What in the actual fuck are you doing? Sir, this recruit is gyrating, sir."
Oh, fuck, it's too good.
What a lad.
Oh, man. Do you know what I saw on the way here? And this must fall like... Oh, by the way, I need to say, had a message from George, who's a sniper elite.
Yo.
One of the top brass. He said...
Cheers, George.
Guess what, mate? A new sniper has been born. Sent me a picture of this beautiful baby girl named Izzy.
Izzy.
Yeah, and Mum Catherine did a great job. He also says I was playing the podcast until push time when I was swiftly told to turn you guys off.
No shit.
So well done to George and Catherine and
Baby Izzy.
Baby Izzy, which is awesome.
Congratulations, Georgie boy. Another little sex trophy for the cabinet.
Yeah.
Or is it the first one, possibly?
Didn't say. George's, we messaged quite a bit on Instagram too.
Good
so,
shit.
Yeah, pretty magic stuff. That's life. If it's the first one, that's some friggin' life-changing stuff. The other thing I just started saying was, have a look at this. I just been to BYD, was grabbing something from those guys, and then a motorbike went past, and I was like, well, definitely not going to pull out in front of that because that's a police officer on a motorbike. And then I pulled him behind it, and I was like, hang on a minute. That's not a police officer, but was wearing a high-vis.
It's the guy that fucking, and it says ride fucking be polite, or it says be polite.
It says polite instead of police.
Yeah.
And then it says notice, think bike.
Yeah.
That's got to be real close to impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, he turned up at Moto Social a bunch of times. Not a bad bloke. Very obviously does it for that reaction, but has had like the cops come up to him, the bike cops come up to him all the time, and he rides a very similar bike which has the same sort of, but instead of it being blue and yellow, it's black and yellow or something.
Nah, his one's maroon. He was on a maroon like sort of semi-off-road bike thing.
Oh yeah.
Or, what do you call those ones that go cross-country?
But yeah, the police can't give a fuck if people see someone on a bike like that and slow down. Mate, the undercover bike cops, they're the fucking sneakiest.
I've never seen one.
Oh, mate.
What do they ride? They on V-Rods?
No. Fuck, that'd be a stitch up. They ride the same cop bikes as they do here, whatever those, either the Beamers or those Hondas. And they, it was blue, well, the one that I fucking passed.
Crazy.
Yeah. The only way you can spot them is they've got the belt on, and you can see the yellow taser on their hip. So when you're coming up behind them, you can see that that's what they've got. And the funniest part was, our mate Craig the copper.
I haven't talked to him in so long.
Yeah, I see him quite a bit. He's still up the road.
Huh.
He's running this fucking massive. Anyway, I won't give away too much stuff. But anyway, he was like, have a go at this fucking cheeky prick. He's got a fucking taser on his belt because he was unaware that there were undercover bike cops. So he followed this cop for ages and was basically running the plate on it. And because it was such a new bike, it hadn't been put into the system as... Because remember, it was down at the Ride Forever thing down in Wellington, and they said that it was going to come up to Auckland. But anyway, so he followed this thing. He's had to fucking run this guy off the road and tase him. But this is one of his co-workers.
Oh, that's too good.
Yeah.
That is too good.
Sneaky, though.
Okay, like we mentioned at the start of the episode, this episode's kind of a spicy one. It's a story that needs to be told, and we have been catching up with the lovely Kelsey on and off ever since this happened. In fact, I think we sent her to a couple of gigs and stuff, and
she's a massive fan of rock music. Came to Rock 2000 a couple of times. We've been trying to get her up on stage, but she's a bit of a reluctant hero.
So we'll give you a little bit of background on her story. We're going to play a news report after the volcanic eruption.
A volcano has erupted in New Zealand with 100 people in the vicinity, leaving some unaccounted for, according to the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Tourists were seen walking inside the rim of the White Island crater just moments before the eruption, and it's feared there have been injuries. White Island, or Wakari, is an island volcano off the coast of New Zealand's North Island and is one of New Zealand's most active volcanoes. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern spoke a short time ago.
At this stage, and please do keep in mind this is an evolving situation, but at this stage we believe around 100 people were on or around the island at the time, and some of those at this stage are unaccounted for. A number of people are reportedly injured and are being transported to shore. Police are urging members of the public to avoid the Whakatane Heads and Muriwai Road areas. Muriwai Road is closed from Harvey Street. I do want to just again share this is evolving at this stage. Obviously, does appear to be a very significant issue, particularly the scale of those affected at this stage. A joint press conference will be held at 5:30 between the National Emergency Management Agency and the police. They will be able at that stage to provide you with far greater detail in what is very much an evolving situation. But of course, I'm sure all our thoughts are with those affected at this stage.
So to add to it, there was a cruise ship that was in at Mount Maunganui, which is not far, which is my hometown, not far from where White Island is. So Whakaari White Island is off Whakatane, which is part of the east coast of the North Island in New Zealand. Not too far offshore, incredible fishing in and around it. It's amazing. And it's been an active volcano forever. From my parents' place, you can look out their window and you can see it billowing smoke and steam, and has been like that for ages. So when this thing fucking popped, because it's sometimes it's a little bit more aggressive than other times, but this was definitely one completely out of the box, out of the blue.
Yeah, they had the crater lake didn't, because they measured the temperature and stuff. There was no temperature rising on it. There was no red flags whatsoever.
No, and so when it fucking blew, it wasn't like lava like you think in Hawaii. It was just fucking scalding hot water and steam, and that's what took the lives of a lot of people. There were people on boats, there were people that were running off and jumping into the ocean, and there were people that were just caught in fucking no man's land. There was a helicopter which was basically just melted on the fucking on the thing. Still there.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well, fuck me sideways and call me Fred. It's Jay and Dunc on Not For Radio.
Well, today on the show, we're talking to someone whose life changed forever on one of this country's darkest days. Kelsey Waghorn was a tour guide on Whakaari White Island when it erupted in 2019. She suffered severe burns, survived against some pretty insane odds, and has been through years and years and years of surgery, rehab, and recovery ever since. We want to talk to Kelsey, not just about what happened that day, but about everything that's come after, the physical and mental toll, how it's changed her life, and what she wants New Zealand to actually learn from Whakaari. The woman, the myth, the legend, Kelsey Waghorn joins us right now. How are you, dolls?
Good. What an intro. I want to be introed like that to every room I walk into now.
That's actually part of the service we provide. We send that off to all of our guests. So you can just have that as the alarm clock. You just get out and be like, I've got this shit here. I'm good to go for another day.
Yeah, my list of demands when I walk in, it's like, you need to play this when I walk in. And everyone's like, what? It's just Jay's voice booming from everywhere.
It's been a while since we've caught up. We keep in contact over social media, but How has your summer been? And I know that last year in particular was a pretty interesting one for you. Did you manage to get a little bit of decompression, or has this book just compounded everything even further?
Yeah, everything's gone a bit haywire now. Most of the time, I don't know what day it is, or where I am, or who I am. So it's gone a bit loopy. And then it's like I've forgotten how to talk to people because I've just spent the last 2 years working with dogs. So I just, everyone's just like, oh, you swear a lot. I'm like, yeah, I work with dogs, and I used to work with commercial fishermen, and yeah, I live with a farmer, and it's just like all the wheels have come off, man. I don't know how to like be in society anymore. And then with the book, everyone's like, you go do all these interviews, and they're like, don't swear, don't be yourself. And I'm like, oh God. So it's all been a bit mental. And I'm hoping this year's a bit quieter, or at least quieter than the last sort of couple months. But I don't know. I don't plan anything anymore. Everything just sort of happens, and I just roll with it. So hopefully there's decompression in my future, but we'll see.
Take us back to the initial concept of writing the book. I know that we spoke about it probably not long after the eruption, and once you'd sort of gotten out of hospital and you're going through all those things, it's one of those things that probably just gets stacked further and further and further and further in front of you, and you just must be going, I'd love to see a bit of daylight at the end of this, and maybe create a bit of space in between the incident and where we are now. Was the book cathartic, or did it just bring it back on top of you like a ton of bricks?
I've been asked it a few times now whether it was cathartic, and a lot of people have said that when they wrote their book, it was cathartic, but I kind of got forced to do the work and the cathartism, I suppose, sort of through 2023, when sort of everything had gone real pear-shaped at the end of 2022. So the book itself wasn't cathartic, but it was good to have everything in one place. So in that sense, it's sort of like my external brain or diary is now fit for publish. So it's nice to have all that together. But yeah, in terms of how it sort of came about, I got asked to publish a book in 2020. So it was like a couple of months after the eruption. They're like, we'd love to publish a book. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh. Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of you. And sort of like, just, yeah, sort of pushed it off. And then because as things got darker, it was like, I'm glad I pushed it off, because I had quite a lot of offers, which was really kind. But yeah, it would have been a very, very different book if I'd done it earlier than now. It would have been a very grim, dark book if I'd done it when I'd been asked the first few times. And who I ended up going with, HarperCollins, they were very, very patient. Like, they did sort of throw their name in the hat quite early, and they've just been very patient and weren't pushy. And yeah, they just sort of waited until I was ready. And then end of God, what year is it? 2026. End of 2024. I really don't know what's going on. They were like, all right, do you want to do this? And I was just like, all right, let's do it. And they're like, okay, so normally what the time frame is. And I was like, no, we're doing it on my time frame. We're doing it in less than a year because I don't want it looming over me. And they were like, oh, okay. And so we just jammed it into like a few months and just like smashed it out. Yeah, so everyone's like, oh, you must have been working on this for years. And I'm like, no, months.
It's the Kelsey way.
Yeah,
Now,
jam it in.
Hey, can I just, Dunc's a massive advocate for audiobooks. I was wondering, is there an opportunity that you will be having the book in audiobook form, read by yourself, possibly in a more natural Kelsey way, which would make it really appealing? Just your classic off-farm, fucking get him behind, while I go, that sort of approach.
There is an audiobook, but I had to kind of tame it back. But the book apparently is very much in my tone and very much in my voice, so that's good to hear. But yeah, I recorded the audiobook in January, a couple months ago. And yeah, it was a really weird experience because you kind of think, yeah, I can read. Like, I'm 30, I can read. And then it's not until you like sit there with a whole book and you're like, fuck, I can't read. And it's just like trying to read out loud. And then it was like, who wrote this book? The sentence is so long, I can't breathe. And so then my poor tech guy was like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh. How many hours were you in the booth for?
It was 4 5-hour days in a row. So I had like no voice by the end of it. And for some reason, because I was in Auckland and I'm never in Auckland, I booked in dinners with friends every night, and I was just rooted by the end of it. I was just like, I was so tired, like my throat hurt. The people at the audiobook place were just like bringing me hot honey, just like literally liquefied honey to just scull that. And I was just sitting in this tiny little like black room, just like on my own, just like my own voice and like my own book. And I was like, this is insane. And it was a really, really weird experience. And because I've spoken to you guys about the eruption, I've spoken to heaps of people about the eruption, never had any like emotional reaction to it whatsoever. For some reason, reading the book, I was sobbing. So whoever listens to the audiobooks just got me crying my way through it. And and so that part was really hard. And then the acknowledgements messed me up. I saw my friend's name who died on the island halfway down the page, and so like I just couldn't focus after that. It was like I saw Hayden and I was just like, okay, this is gonna kill me. And I was just like, just keep recording, you're just gonna have to stitch together whatever you can. And so he was just like, oh, okay. And he said, do you want to take a break? I'm like, no. And so just powering through it, sobbing. And he's like, we're going to have to do that again. I can't understand you. And I'm like, oh, no.
Just take the fucking take. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, I'm just like, just they can read the book. Like, if they can't understand it, I'm not doing it again.
Well, so I actually wouldn't mind that, the little bit of the fly on the wall pulling back the curtain, Like that would be like very human, Sometimes when you listen to an audiobook or they've got an actor doing it or whatever, it doesn't feel as human. Something I wanted to ask you was when, because we've chatted to you at length about the eruption, and we'll put a link in the episode notes because it's really hard to wrap your head around for someone that hasn't been through that, and you do an amazing job of explaining that. But I remember we were talking to you maybe a couple of years back, and you were like, I can't say everything because it hasn't been through the courts, and now of course it's been through the courts. So did you get to put everything you wanted into the book, and what was the sort of stuff that you were having to hold back?
No, so there's still a lot that I've not voiced. A lot around the media side of things. There is some stuff around the court case which I've not put in there because it would change the tone quite significantly. And then it also puts me in a position where I could get pulled into court. So there is stuff that I could have said and didn't. Even things that have happened, like people keep saying you could write another book, and I'm like, I know, but I don't want to. Because there's so much shit that could have gone in there that we decided that no, it would change the whole tone of things. It changes the whole sort of trajectory of the book. So we decided to just keep it sort of what it is. There's a lot in there that could have been built up on, and could have really ruined some lives.
On the media stuff, it is we are such a. And I would say we because we are. I'm sitting behind a microphone, so we are we. It's such a vulturistic culture within media of just the pushing to get a story so that it benefits the organization that they're working for at any human cost, and you can see it now with what's happening in any war-torn country or any massive thing that's going on. Did you feel like you were just being pulled in a million different directions and false-friended and exploited for the benefit of other organizations at any stage? Or is that kind of what you were talking about, or am I just miles off the mark in a little conspiracy circle here?
No, you're bang on. And I think I talked about that really early on with you guys, like one of those first ones. It just felt like you were burly, like you were just having strips torn off you, and people were just trying to take what they could from you to just get anything. Like I had people that had made my life absolute hell before the eruption, all of a sudden were my best mates. And it was just trying to get closer to the story. And I learned it the hard way, unfortunately, because I foolishly was very trusting. I was like, oh, you've learned a lesson. And it was like, no, you've not learned anything. So that was pretty brutal. And then, the media side of things was really nasty. More so for my family than me, because especially those early days, I was in a coma, so I didn't know what was going on. But they were calling mum while I was in a coma just to get a story. They didn't even know if I was going to make it, and media are calling them being like, oh, do you want to say something? And it's like, no, of course not. Apparently there was media, journalists burning themselves on purpose to try and get into the burns wards to try and find us. people were putting on lab coats and pretending, like trying to like slip through the locked doors because my hospital was in lockdown. We had people trying to say that they were friends or family to try and get into the ward. There was some sick shit, man. Like, and I spoke to someone about it, and they're like, "Oh, not New Zealanders," and I'm like, "Some of them were. Some of them absolutely were New Zealanders. They were New Zealand journalists after me, and it was why I never spoke to anyone." And so, like, I just didn't trust any of the media. And so even with this whole book thing, they were like, "Okay, now we'll talk about the media in January." And I was like, "You've read the book, you know how I feel about this." And so I had the handbrake on the whole time while they're trying to be like, "What about these guys?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "What about these guys?" I'm like, "No." So it was real hard for HarperCollins to try and find sort of like a trajectory where I was not comfortable, but sort of felt safer. And so they were like, "Well, we're not doing the sort of salacious journalism. Like, this is just telling your story." And it's like a very different tone, obviously, now. And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not working with people that treated my family like that in the early days." And it was just like, "I will not go
Good
there."
on you.
Yeah, so there's a few that are like blacklisted in my family, and like there's media outlets which we take everything we hear from them with a grain of salt because we're like, "But how did you get that? Where did you get that?" And so we've learned the hard way that, yeah, unfortunately, not all media can be trusted. So makes us sound like a family of conspiracy theorists, but we've learned from experience that unfortunately, yeah, there are some people that don't really have, I guess, their hearts in the right places, or they're not doing it for the right reason. They're just doing it for the story, and they're going to do it at any cost. So yeah, you learn pretty quickly which ones you can trust and which ones you can't.
What's the level of visitation for you back out to the island? Have you set foot on it? Have you had a walk around? Have you gone out there with local iwi? And
yeah, I think I've been out there every year. I think I've been out there every year. I can't remember now. But yeah, I've flown over it. I've been out by boat, not landed on it. I'm pretty sure lightning won't strike twice, but I'm not game enough to find out. So from the water's nice and safe, and it's like, yeah, I can see enough from here. But yeah, no, I haven't stepped foot, but yeah, been out there, I think every year, or more or less every year, which is cool. It is an awesome spot. Like, it's a cool place.
It's amazing to still feel like that, after there's, that much hurt went on, like not only physically, but mentally as well. How are you mentally now? Like, how many hours of, psychs and stuff have you been to throughout the years, or are you at peace with it? Have you put it in a box, or is it just, fuck, that's something that's happened to me and I'm happy to move on and shout, fucking get them behind at my dogs?
A bit of column A, column B. I'm good. I am really good. I currently, right at this moment, I'm exhausted. I want to lie down and not speak to anyone for a week. That's kind of the end goal, sort of, for a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, I'm really good. I don't really have major plans at this stage other than try and find rest in between all the chaos. But yeah, I am really good. And it's, yeah, the best I've felt in years, possibly ever. So that's really nice. And yeah, sucking a bit more out of life, which is nice. So went to a concert on Friday, which was good. That sort of reset things a little bit, came back with a bit more life, which was nice. So that was really neat.
What concert?
Live at the Domain. So Good Charlotte, Highly Suspect, Yellow.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you based in the Bay still? I was going to say, because if you are ever up and you want to have a break and come and stay and be pampered by two punishing twins, by all means, let us know. They are great in the silver service at the moment, so they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when I'm in Auckland next. Probably. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I have to check my calendar. But yeah, definitely, I'll get in touch when I'm up.
How was the rig? Because last time I think we were chatting, you're just getting some more stuff done on your hands. What are the pain points on the carcass?
Pain points pretty good. The heat is pretty brutal. The nerve pain comes back with heat, and if I stand for a long time or exercise a lot, then things get a bit weird. But haven't had a surgery since 2023, so that's pretty good going. And that one ultimately was successful, but I don't think a surgeon will touch me unless it's absolutely necessary now, because my hand took 8 weeks to close because it's just so damaged that it just didn't heal very well. So I've got some sort of keloid scarring and stuff, which I didn't have until the surgery. So, yeah, unless it's absolutely dire, I don't think the surgeons will touch me anymore because they're just like, this is good enough when your body's done.
Hey, well, we will let you actually get some rest now, and like with the offer is always there, an open invitation to come stay and catch up or whatever is relaxing for you. And appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to getting into the book, because obviously there is stuff that we've probably covered it head to toe, but just to hear it probably in your own words and more in depth without you having to be the one dragged through it face to face would be kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice to sort of have it done in my way and my words and have that full control over it, which I think was what sort of got me across the line with the book as well, as it just felt like the safest way to do it, which is good.
It feels like when the explosion happens, and I was reading one of the interviews you had, you like it was actually relatively silent. It feels like when you're watching one of the avalanches come down the side of a mountain, and it's like closer, closer, closer. Oh fuck!
Yeah,
like it's the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah. No, it's still like I know it happened. I'm not under no illusion that it happened, but Jesus, like to see it, like to see the videos and the photos and know the stats of the likeliness of surviving something like that, it's just like it's so far removed. It's just the weirdest thing ever. And even just like writing it all down in the book, and it's just like I can't believe all the shit that I've been through, and I did all that before I was 25, and it was just like that's ridiculous. It's amazing I'm here at all. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? I don't know all this other stuff. And I'm like, I know. That's why everyone keeps saying write a book. It's because I've got enough to write a book with. I think maybe we can do a second. And I'm like, God, I hope there's not enough for a second.
Maybe now's the time to move over to Ibiza, go and work on the super yachts and get bogged up by a whole bunch of rich football players.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably it, eh? Just hide.
Fucking hell. Only Jay Reid could round out an interview with something like that. I apologise on his behalf. I would have normally turned his mic off, but I'm not in the studio.
We love you to bits. Thank you so much for catching up with us. As always, you're a star. And we're
anytime.
What a refreshing cup of Not for Radio with Jay and Dunc.
We should get Not for Radio mugs, mate.
We are a couple of fucking mugs.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the lovely Kelsey Waghorn. I could fucking talk to her all day. She's just so nice.
Yeah, she's lovely.
So get out there and support. Like I said, we haven't had the chance to read it. We didn't get sent copies early, but I mean, you know me, mate. I'm going to listen to it, not read it. But
she reads it.
Yeah.
Which is, as you would have heard in the chat, that would be, I hope they left the shake in the voice. I hope they left the emotion in it so that it can actually be sort of carried across, you know?
When you have the author of a book like that read it, it's so much more powerful. Like, how fucking good is listening to the Matthew McConaughey
Green
book?
Lights. So
Green
sick.
Lights.
If you haven't read Green Lights, it's awesome.
One of the all-time great books.
Another one, Josh Brolin's one.
Yeah.
He does, was it fucking From Under the Bus or something?
Yeah.
Which is
I didn't actually I know who he is when you show a photo of him, but when you said Josh Brolin the first time, I was like, I think I know, maybe, and then I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. But he's an amazing actor. But he's like, he has lived the life of 100 men.
Yeah, he's fucking cool. He's got some cool shit too.
Right,
He's got a bike that I want too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's literally, when it was done, I was like, fuck, it's a bike. And I was chatting to the guy from Wisco Speed about that bike. And then he goes, oh, it's gone. And I was like, fuck. And it popped up and he had it. I was like, fuck.
Oh, gee. That's karma for when you...
hang on. What are you going to put this on?
Well, I'm just sort of I was thinking, I'll go with it. It's karma from when you fuck Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars Misses.
What's that got anything to do with it?
Well, you know, the world works in funny ways. It's all sort of got to even out. You missed out on a motorbike and you rode somebody else's fun ride.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Gee, when you put it like that, yeah, I guess you're right.
Sense. Hey, allegedly. So here's my war story for today. Jacques Otto from South Africa. When I was a student, we played a drinking game in the garden with my oldest brother and his good-looking female friends. Of course, they teamed up on me, and I must have drank half a bottle of Mampool Pua, I think it's called. 65% ABV, local South African drink. Whew. I did not feel too well. My stomach started to rumble and bubble. Instead of having my ass vomit in front of them, I, against good judgment, entered my classic Mini and headed to my mate's house. That is terrible judgment. Let's say you could drink half, and I'm not saying do this because obviously we don't want to, we don't need to encourage this, but if you drank half bottle of spirits and then quickly jumped in your car and drove somewhere,
would you be
legal
intoxicated?
or illegal?
You've got 15 minutes.
What's that?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah. Benny boy knows.
He knows. As our
what would we do without you?
As our designated DJ and Diesel Weasel.
When we like to roll around in the grey area, we can look for guidance from Benny boy.
We should just call him Primer.
Can I just say, allegedly, you've got 15 minutes. Primer. Frantically knocking on his door, he finally let me in. I said I needed the toilet now, and he pointed me in the right direction. I just made it, sweating, a cramping, a volcano erupted into a warm, spewing liquid. Now, not being able to breathe from the stench, I started to wipe my rear end. Then something wrapped around my hand. Being drunk, I just knew that it was my intestine.
What the fuck?
No.
I thought he was going to say a snake.
What the fuck?
He shat his intestines out.
Huh. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, that took a turn. Fuck.
You say cooking in the Not For Radio War Story kitchen?
Oh, that made me feel
we've got a bloody fire in the kitchen here.
I just instantly had my hands start sweating and I feel cold.
Okay. Then something wrapped around my hand. Being drunk, I just knew this was my intestine. Panic set in. I thought, let me roll the intestine up and head to the doctor.
How fucking much intestine came out?
I then told myself perhaps it's a sinew from last night's barbecue. It would be embarrassing arriving at the doctor full of shit with a sinew hanging out of my ass. It must be a type of sausage or something.
Well, sinew is like what's in muscles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like muscle sinew.
Okay. I tugged at it. It felt like it was attached to my heart.
Oh, fuck that.
I was now in a serious drunken panic. I made the decision to keep
pulling. What, like a
I made the decision to keep pulling and pulling until almost 2 meters exited my fragile, violated ass. I stood up whilst holding the end of this thing, which was now smelling like shit. It was a tapeworm!
Oh, my
That must have died from the shots that I had. I'm still proud of my own courage that day, and I feel like I became a man.
Oh, fucking what a roller coaster.
The end, fade to black.
Jesus, see fucking Christ. He had a 2 metre long tapeworm in his body, which he fucking torched with South African piss. And he thought he was ripping his own guts out. What a fucking
in a cartoon, when there's somebody climbing up the rope on the outside of a building and someone cuts it at the top and they quickly try and grab it, that's what he was doing in the toilet.
I was thinking like a shitty magician just pulling fucking tissues out of his sleeve.
Oh my gosh.
Wowzers.
Well, this is the roller coaster of Not For Radio, and that's how we do it.
Whew.
Have a great weekend.
I'm going to go and have my fucking puttanesca pasta.
If you can catch it, there is the Melbourne Grand Prix on this weekend, and also the supercars are there. As former show boss Teagues is there with her team, the Walkinshaw TWG racing team. So if you can catch that over the weekend, obviously the Wars are playing tonight too.
Yes,
which is awesome. Which will be that works out to be Friday morning in the Northern Hemisphere. So you can put that on while you're at work, maybe on the phone.
Opening game for the Wars and V the Chooks.
And also as well, I'm going to go have a punt on the GGs on Saturday, and so hopefully the winning streak can continue. And I say streak, we've only had one win as of late, but I'm feeling red hot, like white hot even.
Yeah.
So if I pull up in a McLaren or something on Monday, Dunc's gone well at the GGs.
I won't tell anybody, but there will be signs.
Have a great one. Go well, go long,
and up the Wars
tonight. like not too far away from now. You beauty.
You've been listening to Jay and Dunc's Not for Radio podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you soon.